everyone, I'm Hilary, the mother of the bride. It is nice to be with you all on this very special occasion, Becky and George's wedding. Becky, our walk down the aisle this afternoon is a memory I will cherish, and you look beautiful and stunning in your sparkly wedding dress. On the 25th of December 1989, along came my first daughter Danielle. She was a wonderful, happy baby who you could take anywhere. And because of this, I was somewhat led into a false sense of security. As on the 6th of August 1991, Becky was born, and it was like going from calm with Danny to a tornado with Becky, who cried for the first 3 years of her life, enjoyed having tantrums in Sainsbury's, BHS, on an aeroplane, and the only thing that calmed her down was an old pair of pink pyjama bottoms of hers.
You better not have them.
Becky has blossomed into the confident, ambitious young lady we see before us, and I'm very proud of her. You often wonder, as a parent, just how well your children will turn out. Who will they pick as a partner to share their life with? Will that person love and care for them as well as you would? Will you approve?
No takes you back, Steve.
Well, for what it's worth, Becky, I think you have made an excellent choice in George. And I did say to her about 8 years ago, whatever you do, don't get married. But then George came into her life. And when I first met him, I thought, Becky has found the perfect man, a kind man, and a great baker so she won't starve. George, welcome to our family. It was so easy to see right from the start how much you love and care for Becky. Thank you for the happiness you have brought into her life. I can see Becky is very proud to have you as her husband. May the two of you have a long, happy and healthy life together, and most importantly, stay best friends, have fun and try to laugh every day. I wish you both much love and happiness. To Becky and George.
Before I met you, I'm not sure I believed in love, let alone true love. Every day I pinch myself and I can't believe I ever had any doubt in my future. The clarity you brought to my life has been transformational, and I can barely remember life before, and I can't imagine a different future. With you I've found so much more than a wife, my lover, my best friend, my rock, my biggest supporter, my shoulder to cry on, my sous chef, my cat mum, and my cake taster. I promise to always be there for you, to love, cherish and support you, to push you to be your best self, and to promise to always strive to be the man I know you deserve.
When I swiped right, I had an inkling. When I met you, I had a feeling. When I climbed Kilimanjaro, I knew it was something. When I came back, my life began. George, I find it hard to summarise what these past 2 and a bit years have been. What I can say is it's been full of love, laughter, tears, farts, burps, trips, new friends, new family, adventures, car journeys, football, cricket, steak, cake, and so much more. And I have had the most fun and enjoyment out of life being with you. I promise to love you continuously, support you, cherish you, be your #1 fan, look after you, and always be there. I cannot wait to begin our new chapter in our lives, whatever it throws at us, together. You are my very best friend, the one I was meant to be with, my my husband. I love you.
I love you. I love you. pretty terrified when I first met Becky's family. Not because from what Becky had told me about them, but I'm going to let everyone in on a secret here. And the first time I went to see Becky's family, Becky's told me that my language can be a bit colourful. And that sort of language doesn't grace Becky's family's household very often. So on the way down Straight Road in Old Windsor, I unleashed probably 4 years worth of swear words in the car to make sure that nothing would slip out while I've been there. And if I'm being honest, that still happens to a slightly lesser degree every time I come around now. But that's a secret between us, okay? I remember very early on thinking what I wanted to do, A, with life, and B, at university. And I kind of settled on a weird path of marine biology. I remember my dad saying to me, I don't care what you do, as long as it's something you're interested in and something you enjoy. I think about that a lot, both in my career and in life, and that push really helped me. I felt supported to move away when I didn't necessarily think I was going to get that. I really appreciate it. Without that push, I definitely wouldn't be here today. I definitely wouldn't be living down south. I definitely wouldn't have met Becky. It'll take some time to getting used to calling you Mrs. Grant. You aren't my mum. For those of you that don't know, our first date was in Wokingham around 10 days before Becky went to climb Kilimanjaro. We were really clicking. I knew Becky was special. However, I had a nagging feeling that the trip to Kilimanjaro was just a ruse for when she realised she wasn't going to like me, and it'd be very easy to get rid of me by going to climb Kilimanjaro and never hearing from her again. I'm told that I was the first text back, and I really do appreciate that. Maybe I had last year at Hackington show that I was going to propose to Becky. I'm not sure I was that subtle early on around my intentions. 3 or 4 months into us dating, where I got pulled along at the annual pilgrimage to Warner Brothers Studios. We stopped at a beautifully illustrated pop-out Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone book. Becky was really taken by it. However, I could see she was looking for an excuse to buy it. I still don't know what came over me, but I confidently said, oh, this would be a great book to read our future children, wouldn't it? And whisked it to the till. Yeah, now I'm saying it out loud, it sounds even more ridiculous. But I think it showed when I said that. You didn't even blink. When I think a lot of people would have run a mile to my wife, not my mum, Mrs. Becky Grant. Mrs. Becky Grant.
George and I first met starting fresh at the same form in cars, but it wasn't a story of love at first sight. Where the unofficial school motto was, it's not bullying, it's character building, me and George did a brilliant job at building each other's character. It took us almost as long as starting sixth form to realise that instead of butting heads with our collective bell-endedness, we could instead channel it together and finally get along greatly. If you've been lucky enough to be treated by the cakes that George makes, you'll already know he is, let me just make sure I'm pronouncing this right, a true master baker. I'm supposed to talk about George's flaws, but the only thing that can get close is he's a very particular man. He knows exactly what he wants, and there is no amount of peer pressure that will persuade him otherwise. George also has an unwavering commitment to stay true to his word. So, when over a couple of beers, he jokingly offered to officiate our wedding. We knew he meant it, and sure enough, he delivered. It feels like just yesterday, we were hearing George rave about his first dates with Becky at the pub quiz. Becky is indeed quite the catch. She's beautiful, funny, and apparently a whiz with numbers. It's clear she makes George incredibly happy. Plus, Luna and Neo adopted you in record time, so you can't be all that bad. From the outside, George hasn't changed much since he started dating Becky, other than dropping his yellow raspberry machine for something that better suits the large house, 2 cats, someone who enjoys playing golf, or what we call George accepting he's already 40. As for being in somewhat of a successful marriage myself, I would like to share some of my favourite advice. Marriage can be ironic in the fact it changes your relationship whilst nothing has changed all the same. You as a couple have already had to navigate new responsibilities, compromises, sacrifices together, building a deeper connection and understanding. You'll continue to evolve and build each other up. like learning to put your health and happiness forward, George. Something I know Becky is proud of you for. Always be the biggest fan for whatever it is she is doing, and you will both be rewarded with the joy and happiness it brings. A happy relationship is built on mutual respect, understanding and support. So, don't take for granted the little things you do for each other. Keep cheering each other on, and I'm sure you'll continue to have a whale of a time together. It's been an absolute honour to stand up here and celebrate your love today, and I'm excited to see where this adventure takes you next, both big and small. To a lifetime of happiness, unwavering love and endless adventures for the incredible couple. To George and Becky, thank you.